Bado hata ule ndugu yangu I have not given up. Yeah, I've not given up.
Najua kuna watu huyu Ruto amekuwa akitafuta Kalonzo. Ameambiwa vile ulipoteza kura ya mlima, the only formula available to you ni utafute Kalonzo.
In the theater of Kenyan politics, shadows are lengthening, whispers are growing loud, and the sitting president has sensed the sting of humiliation. President William Ruto, once the triumphant hustler who stormed the gates of State House, he now walks the uneasy corridors of fear. For the first time in this republic's history, the prospect of a one-term president hangs in the air like a storm cloud. And in this unfolding drama, one name has emerged, calm, calculating, and quietly powerful: Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka, the son of Sekuru, a survivor of every storm since the Moi era. He was vice president under Mwai Kibaki, an ally of Raila Odinga, a servant of Moi, always present, always waiting, always the man in the shadows. For years, men asked, what does Kalonzo stand for? But today, that question is being answered by circumstance. For in his hands rests not just the Ukambani fort, nearly 2 million strong, but also the possibility of inheriting Raila Odinga's mantle if the veteran bows out in 2027. A wise saying goes that in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is the king, and Kalonzo, underestimated, may yet prove to be the sharpest eye in this battlefield.
Na jaribu namna hii bado hata ule ndugu yangu I have not given up. Yeah, I've not given up. Namna hii, don't worry, msiwe na haraka. Namna hii namwambia kuja tusaidiane sasa tusonge.
And this is the confession. In the open air of the Ukampani, the former Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki, and now the Deputy President, he laid bare what had been whispered in corridors. He suggested that he is still persuading Kalonzo Musyoka. The mask slipped, the emissaries were real, and from the Faruqi bed, the ever-present shadow at State House, to senior cabinet members who now sing Kalonzo's praise. Even whispers from Opio and I suggesting that Kalonzo is a decent man who should not walk with Gachagua. 2 weeks earlier, Gachagua had himself hinted that Ruto had been sending envoys to woo Kalonzo. And yesterday, Professor Kindiki confirmed it. The truth was no longer a secret, and the chase was still on. And maybe, just maybe, these ones, they carry a direct message from their boss, President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Ruto versus Gachagua. These are drums of war, like a looming clash. The biggest battle for Ruto is not with Raila. It is not even with the Gen Z movement that has rattled his throne. His greatest war is with his own former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. Gachagua is a man of the mountain, blunt, unfiltered, and unafraid. To his people, Gachagua is a defender of their shareholding, and to Ruto, Gachagua is increasingly a liability, a man whose tribal rhetoric shrinks national unity. Ruto wants Kalonzo not only to gain Ukampani, but also to weaken Gachagua, to corner him, to remind him that he is not indispensable. It is a dangerous game, for as the holy proverb warns, he who rides a tiger dares not dismount. If Gachagua feels betrayed, the mountain may crumble faster than Uhuru imagine.
Mimi tunaambia Kalonzo aanze kufikiria, akae na huyu ndugu yake huyu, atafutiwe nafasi kubwa katika Kenya ili awe mtu ya maana katika hii nchi Kenya.
Mkiona sisi tunafanya kazi pamoja na Mheshimiwa Kalonzo.
One term. You might be wondering why Ruto is very desperate to seek Kalonzo. The answer is simple. Because without the mountain, Ruto is naked. Without those 7 million votes, The hustler's dream becomes a hustler's nightmare. The Gen Zs who marched on the streets do not chant his name. The economy is not forgiving him. The West watches him with suspicion while the opposition sharpens its knives. In Kalonzo, Ruto sees a life raft, a man who could dilute Gachagua's tribal hold, bring balance to his shaky coalition, and perhaps, just perhaps, secure a second term. Yet in chasing Kalonzo, Ruto risks losing the mountain altogether, and that's a gamble only history will judge.
Wacha tu wazungumze. Ni Wakenya wenzetu hata hivyo. Wazungumze, wako na haki ya kufikiri. They have the right to imagine, they have the right to dream. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. These are not beggars.
Na Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka kufanya kazi pamoja na Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga na kufanya kazi pamoja na Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto.
The year 2027 looms like a gathering storm. Will Kalonzo broke away from Gachagua, seduced by the promise of power in Ruto's camp? Will Gachagua hold the mountain, or will the mountain shift beneath his feet? Will Ruto become the first one-term president of Kenya, or will he rewrite the ending of this script? The stakes are enormous, the choices are a few. As the Swahili say, when elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. And in this game, it is the Kenyan people who are the grass. Kenya has witnessed betrayal before. It has seen alliances forged and broken, but never before has a sitting president been forced to beg, to bleed, to woo a man once dismissed as irrelevant. William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, 3 men, 1 throne, a nation watching. History does not forget, and when the dust settles, the question will remain: who was desperate, who was deceived, and who was destined to rule? This is Kenya's Game of Thrones, and this is the red mic.
He's a good man, decent man. Sasa wanaenda kumfundisha mambo ya matusi, mambo ya ukabila, na he's a good man. So mimi musijali, mimi namna hii bana, tuwezi kubali ale ndugu yetu anaenda kuungana na watu wengine wakora, wanafundisha yeye mambo ambaye sio yake. Yeye ni muungwana, yeye ni mstaarabu, yeye ni wakili kama mimi, yeye ni msomi, yeye ni mtu organize, yeye ni mtu ya kanisa. Kweli si kweli? So mwambie namna hii. Yes, akuja tupangane namna hii, kwa sababu mimi na yeye hakuna tofauti. Iko tofauti yangu na nyinyi? Iko tofauti hapa na pale? Sisi yote ni dunia moja.